Website query next. Kirti writes in, says she bought a flat in 1972 in her mother-in-law's name. Her father-in-law was a nominee. Now her mother-in-law passed away in 1995. The society also underwent redevelopment post that. Her father-in-law signed the documents for the same. He later gifted the property to Kirti's husband. However, her sister-in-law now is claiming rights in the property. The society is saying that unless the matter is settled, they won't give them the keys. There's no court case. How can they settle the matter? That's a very, very complex question over there.
It is a complex question, and most people who manage societies have never really understood the difference, let alone the members who live in those societies. As far as I can see, is the mother-in-law passed away. If she didn't make a will, she left behind her husband and children as heirs. So for the sake of argument, if we say they are just two, so her property would then devolve three ways, assuming again she is a Hindu. So there the sister-in-law would have a share, unless there was a will, leaving it to just say the husband. So now what happens is that theoretically the sister-in-law does have the share. Since the husband was nominated, the shares got transferred to him. Now membership in the society and ownership of the property is not necessarily the same. So while the father-in-law became the member, the shares were held by three people, including the sister-in-law. Now this is a complicated thing, and how to get resolved and how the other people would get their share is a different story. But so far as the society is concerned, in the absence of a court order, they have no business saying that I will not do anything till you resolve this. Society is concerned only with its member. Who was the father-in-law? He has gifted it to his son. That's the end of the story. You look at the son. If you have a stay order from a court saying that do not effect transfers and so on and so forth till the issue is resolved, then yes, you have to follow to the T what the court tells you.
What you're saying essentially over here is that the society is duty bound to give the keys to Kirti and her husband.
Absolutely.
After that, where the property goes, who inherits the property is something that they need to resolve if they want to go to court or whether they want to settle it out of court.
Yes, it is not the society's brief to interfere in matters of testamentary jurisdiction, which is precisely why you have things like nomination.
Right. I'll come back to nomination a bit. I wanted to speak to you about that. However, in this particular case, now the society is refusing point blank to give the keys. What can Kirti do? Like you said, they are in the right. They are supposed to get the keys from the society. The society has no business over here denying them the keys. How can they ensure they get it?
I think first thing is that you write to them and tell them that you need to hand over the keys to me because you have no concern in this so-called dispute, if at all we can call it a dispute, and there is no court order preventing. You are supposed to recognize me and not anybody else, even if that person does happen to be a part owner of that property today. And if of course they refuse to do so, your best thing would be to approach the registrar and raise a dispute there and ask him to direct the society to hand over the keys to you. I don't think there should be any issue because the point is extremely clear so far as I can see it. It's just that the society is not clear on how it should act.
Will serving the society a legal notice help?
Definitely. You write a letter. If that does not work, then you send them a legal notice, and then if that does not work, you go to the registrar.
So that's what you need to do, Kirti. But before we move on, this is a very important issue, and this is one that we were discussing when we went into the break, Vinay, that the difference between nomination and inheritance of property. How do both of them differ? If my father were to nominate me in the property, do I also stand to inherit that property automatically, or do I need other papers to inherit it?
You don't inherit anything by nomination. The use of nomination is one that, and it's been created for that reason, that if somebody dies and there are a lot of legal heirs, if they battle it out in court, which may last for decades given our system, the question is who will pay the society's dues, which is why there is a system of nomination which says that the person can nominate whom the nomination will go, the shares and the flat would go to, but he or she holds it in trust for the real legal heirs. The title to the property will get transferred either by will or by the personal law of the person, depending on whether he is Hindu, Muslim, Christian, so on and so forth. As I said, the use is good. So like for example, if I was to want to leave it to my wife, I would nominate her. At the same time, I would also make a will leaving the property to her. The nomination will ensure that society will not ask questions pertaining to will and probate and things like that, but merely transfer it to her immediately, and the will transfer the title.
So essentially the difference is this: like Vinay put it, if you want someone to inherit your property, if you want to ensure that your son or your daughter stands to inherit your property, then make a will. If you have a property, you have to make a will. It is very simple. Nomination is nothing, it only transfers the trusteeship of the property. So in effect, if when you're no more, the society by through nomination is just ensuring that the maintenance bills gets paid. There is somebody who is there to pay all the bills and to sign whatever necessary papers are there. The person is just a legal trustee, nothing more than that. So if you want somebody to inherit property, ensure that you make a will.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at magicbricksnow. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/magicbricksnow.